Hey everybody, my name's Lucas. Hit me up on social media at noise.cash/u/Lucas and subscribe to me here on wherever you're watching me. Today, I'd like to take a look at this OpenDAO, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the projects that they're working on. So, I've actually been staking the Open Governance token, liquidity, on Uniswap and getting some nice returns from that. And that's something you can access right here on their website, OpenDAO.io. That's OPEN, Open, DAO.io. Right here, you can stake your Uniswap LP tokens, and right here is where you can mint the Y dollar, which is essentially a 3-month loan. It's a 3-month rolling release loan, so it starts and ends at a specific date. And how it basically works is you can mint a stablecoin on Bitcoin or Ethereum, and there's a slight price difference. Sometimes you can actually get a really good, like an even better deal on it than, or sometimes you have to pay like a slight, essentially like an interest rate to take out the loan in stablecoin, which is backed by either Bitcoin or Ethereum at a certain collateral rate, and then you can take that stablecoin and do whatever you want with it, whether that's go off and sell it to buy more Bitcoin. And in that case, you're going long, right? Because that means you're holding more Bitcoin than you actually had in originally. But the downside of that, of course, would be if the price went down, the OpenDAO system would, or the UMA that it's based on system would require you to add more collateral to back your position, or it would automatically liquidate and you'd pay like a fine or whatever. You'd pay a fee, and the remainder will be sent back to your wallet, right? So the but then the upside is you can go long if you have that stablecoin and you sell it and buy some more Bitcoin. Then if the price goes up, then you can sell that Bitcoin and get your Bitcoin back from the system and end up with even more money than you would have otherwise. So it's like that's how it works. It's like a decentralized long position. But there's other things you could do with it. You could also put your Bitcoin into the system and sell your stablecoin that you minted and buy a car with that money while keeping your Bitcoin. And then as you earn money at your job or whatever, you could be putting cryptocurrency back into your wallet to ensure that you could cover any collateral and start paying off the loan essentially until you got it paid down. So it's actually a really useful concept. Now, of course, these are 3-month rolling release loans, so you probably wouldn't do it for like a car. It'd be a smaller thing than that. But if you scroll down a little bit on the website, you can see all of these different cryptocurrencies. You might recognize quite a few or all of them. There's, of course, Ethereum and Bitcoin, but there's also Ocean and Elrond and Algorand and Doge and DSD, or Dynamic Set Dollar, I think. P tokens, Ravencoin, and BDP. And if you can click on each of these, except for these two, you can click on each of these to see the announcements about the partnerships and such. And so basically what these are the actual stable coins, which are going to be built on UMA, assuming that they get their stuff out and going. We're waiting. They're waiting on the perpetual contracts from UMA to be ready, so they can roll out the actual stable coins based on these different cryptocurrencies. So what that means is it's going to be more of a permanent solution where you can put your Dogecoin in the form of RIN Doge, which you can mint to put on the Ethereum network. You're going to be able to put your RIN Doge into the OpenDAO system, or into the UMA via the OpenDAO UI, and get out a Doge stablecoin, and then you can do whatever you want to do with that. And meanwhile, your Doge is always sitting in there. And so if you believe the Doge is going to go up in value a whole lot, then this would be a really good deal for you. You can put your Doge in there and go on your merry way and use your money however you want, and just keep checking on it and making sure your collateral ratio is healthy. And you would just keep being able to use your money while keeping your Doge supply high, right? And the same goes for all these other currencies, of course. So that's kind of what's going on now. They're waiting for the UMA perpetual contracts. The other exciting thing they're working on here is the worldwide stablecoins. See, the first one is going to be the USDO, probably, which will track the price of a dollar. It's similar in function to the MakerDAO pegging mechanism. So you've probably heard of the stablecoin DAI, DAI. That tracks the value of $1, $1 US, and it does it with collateral, primarily Ethereum as collateral, and like a complex pegging mechanism that I probably like sells and buys, and it makes sure that the ratio of collateral that's in the system is high enough. Is like I don't know what the ratio is, but it basically makes sure that all of the money that people have lent into the system is higher than what it needs to be to back all of the DAI that's been minted, so that even if the collateral that's been put into the system, even if the price of Ethereum goes down, because that's Ethereum is the primary basis for the value of DAI, even if the price of Ethereum goes down, they have enough to back the DAI that's been minted. But if the Ethereum crashes really bad, then they've actually in the past had to do like buybacks. They've had to offer to mint their governance token and trade it for people's DAI so that they could burn the DAI to bring the amount of total in the that's in circulation down below what they could cover with the collateral. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So what OpenDAO is doing is similar to what MakerDAO does, except instead of just having Ethereum be the collateral, it's going to be a lot of stuff. Everything from, well, at the beginning it will be stuff like Dogecoin and Ocean and Bitcoin and Ravencoin and Algorand. Those will all be in their own separate pools, but they'll all be backing the one USDO. And eventually, the concept will be extended to other things such as Tesla stocks or vehicle loan type situations or even house loans, and it could all be so it could actually support real estate shares, for example. All of these things could eventually be tokenized on the blockchain and used as a basis for the stablecoin. So it's essentially like holding DAI, like holding a stablecoin with collateral, except you know that in the background there is all that different stuff that will eventually include, like I said, Tesla stocks and other stocks, and real estate, and all sorts of different real-world assets. So the chances of the price just suddenly crashing are a little bit lower. You know, that it's a little bit less of a risk when you have all that different stuff piled up, right? So that's kind of the benefit there. Here you can see the product roadmap. It starts with liquid on-chain crypto assets, then moves on to phase 2, where we get the liquid off-chain assets. So that would be things like Tesla stocks and Apple and Facebook, because those things are very liquid. There's already market built up to sell them in share form, so it's already it's very simple to map a stock onto a cryptocurrency, just in general. Then next would be phase 3, which is small illiquid off-chain assets. Those will be things like corporate invoices or cars, or it looks like this is like a solar panel. If you want, okay, right. And phase 4 is large illiquid off-chain assets. So that would be like actual big houses and real estate, that kind of thing. And they're also, another plan they have is to go around the world and make stable coins based on other national currencies, and they would target nations that have large populations of young people who are technically savvy, and this could actually be good for their economy. I'm just speculating, of course, but I would imagine it could be good for their economy to give them this this way to interact with the global economy in a more stable way, because in some of these countries, the way that their country is managing their fiat currency is not very responsible, right? So this would allow people within those countries it would give them access to the actual market that OpenDAO is building for all those different stocks and stuff, so they could, in theory, like actually they could do things with their money that they otherwise wouldn't be able to just by just in their local community.